ESP is one of the most notable cheat features in any cheat. Welcome back to another SE Programs video, guys, where today I'm going to be showing you how to get started with making your own external ESP in C++. This is going to be a two-part video series, so stay tuned for the second part. I apologize for this first part. It was recorded at 3 AM and I sound pretty dead, but hopefully you still understand. Also, on a side note, I no longer have access to my Discord account, so I've made a new Discord in the description, which you should all join. Okay, so the first step is to create an empty project, ESP GLFW, that's what I'm going to call it, create. Okay, I'm going to add a new folder, call this SLC. We're going to add another folder, and this one will be called headers for our header files. And then after that, we want to add another folder called include, and this is for our includes. Okay, pretty cool. So after we do this, we can just create our main.cpp file. We're going to also want to create a new overlay.cpp, and then headers, we just want to create overlay.h, like so. Okay, cool. Now what we want to do is we want to come here and we want to open folder in File Explorer. I should bring this, and then include. This is where we want to put our GLFW. If you don't have GLFW installed, just go to this website, glfw.org. Download the Windows 64-bit. That's probably what you're going to need unless you're on a 32-bit Windows system, but 99% of people will be on 64-bit. Then once that's done, we want to go back to our project file, so we can get include, and we're going to drag this in. So if you open the downloaded folder, which should look like this, you'll see an include folder. Or actually what we can do is delete this and just copy the whole GLFW folder in there. Now this probably isn't the best way to do it, but just for argument's sakes, it's good enough. So then we're going to get a project properties, C++ general, additional include directories, edit, press this one, include, and then we're going to include, and let's select folder. Okay, apply, and then we want to go to linker, general, and then in additional library dependencies, you want to press edit. You can press this one, and then you want to go to include here, and then choose the Visual Studio version you're using. So this is Visual Studio's 2022, which is the latest one. So we can click this one, we'll just press select folder. Okay, and then we're going to go input down here. We're going to go here, and then we're going to go glfw.lib, open gl. Sorry, we want to do glfw3.lib, like that. Cool. And then we want to press OK, apply, and we should be able to get started. In our main.cpp file, we want to do some includes, and what we're going to do is we can do hashtag include glfw, glfw3.h. like so. You want to include the Windows API files, that's windows.h, and then we're also going to do include // headers / overlay.h. So we'll need that later, and then we can just do our main function. Yeah, that's our main loop. For those of you who don't know C++, sorry, every function has a main loop or main function, sorry. But for now, we want to go to our overlay.h file, like so, and we're gonna do some include. So we're gonna include glfw3. We're gonna include iostream, like so. We're going to include string, and now we're going to make our overlay class. So in order to be like super good with OOP principles, object-oriented programming, we're using classes. So we're going to make a class overlay. Sorry, wrong one. Keep fat fingering it. We're going to do our private variables. So these are variables that can only be accessed by the class. So that's going to be the glfw window, and that's what we call our window. We're going to do an int width height, and then we're going to do std string name, and that's just gonna be the name of the window. And then for our public variables, we want to create our constructor like this, and that's going to happen int width, int height, and then a const name. Cool. So basically what that means is this is our constructor. So we call this when we want to create a new overlay, and we need a pass row width, height, and a name for the window. And then we want to do our getters and setters. So we're going to do glfw window get window, and that will just return a pointer to the window. We're going to do int get height, and that returns the height. Int get width, and that will return the width of the window. Now, I don't know why I'm storing height and width in the overlay class. It is good practice, I guess, so we're going to do it. But yeah, that's what our overlay class should look like. And then if we go to our overlay.cpp file, this is where the actual code's going to go. So we just need to, I don't know why I went down so much, include / headers overlay.h, so including overlay. And then we want to define our constructor, so overlay width and height name, like so. And then we want to set our variable, so when they pass you the width, so this dot width equals width, this dot height equals height, and this dot name equals name, like so. And then we need to initialize GLFW, so that's pretty simple. We're just going to do if GLFW init. So if it fails to init, what we're going to do is we're going to put an error, and we're going to use C error failed to init. I think I spelled that right. I hope so. GLFW. So if for whatever reason GLFW cannot initialize, then we're just going to print this out and say, hey, we've got an error. Pretty cool. After this, we need to set our window hints. So how GLFW works is you set the window hints before you create the window. So that we do GLFW window. I'm going to do GLFW. That's not decorated GLFW underscore false. So basically what this is saying is we don't want a title bar on our overlay. Look a bit ugly in my opinion. I'm sure most people would agree. Looks a little unprofessional. This should keep it on top, but we're also going to use the what's it called, Windows API to keep our window on top and transparent and stuff. So after that we just went to GLFW, and this just basically means we can have a transparent background on our window. Cool. So then we want to set our window, so that's going to be this window. So that we just do this dot window GLFW create window. That's going to be the width, height, and the name on null. Basically we're not passing through a window or anything here. That's because if we do that, it'll just automatically pick the best one. So yeah, and then we just want to do another if statement. This is going to be error handling. So if stop window. So that's basically saying if the window equals null, it'll be std error, like so. And we're just saying failed to create new window / n. Probably add an exclamation mark up here, make it a bit more interesting. Oh, don't forget the semicolon. Okay, and then we're going to make the window. Okay, then after this we're going to set up something called orthographic projection. Basically we're going to be working with pixel positions on the screen. So the enemy might be on, like 200, 200, and we want to draw a circle on that position on our screen, right? So basically that means like if this is a 1920 by 1080, so like HD screen, we want to pick the pixels on that. By default, OpenGL works by saying the left hand side is -1 and the right hand side is 1, and that doesn't correlate well with what we're going to do. We're going to set up orthographic projection. If you were making a desktop application, probably be better just to use the regular projection because it works really well for scaling, but the person isn't going to be resizing their ESP overlay. Okay, that's all we got to do to create orthographic projection. These 5 lines. Pretty cool. And now we're going to use the window API to basically make the window click through, like so you can click through it, like to interact with the game and stuff while keeping it topmost. That's pretty simple. We're going to get a and then name. So this is probably a very bad way to get the handle to the window. I was having trouble using the inbuilt GLFW way, so I'm using the Windows API. It's a little bit ghetto, but it's going to get a handle to our overlay window by just using the name. Then we're going to set our styles for the window. So we're going to do long extended style equals get window long. Then we want to pass through the handle and GWL so X style. Like so, okay, and then we want to do set window long. We're going to pass through the handle, and then we're going to do GL style. And we want to do X, and then we want to do WS underscore X underscore layered. So we make our window layered, and then we're gonna make it transparent. So WSEX transparent. I'm just gonna do topmost after this. EX. Actually, no, sorry, we're not gonna do topmost. We're gonna do no active. So that just means you can't click on it. It's click through. And then we just want to bring the window to the front. Topmost. There we go. That's making the window on top all the time, so you'll always see it. And that's pretty much it for initializing our overlay. Then we're just gonna want to do GLFW window. Get window. Oh, sorry. You want to do overlay. Return this start window, like so. That's kind of what we need for now. We'll add the getters for this one, or the height and width later, but now we can actually start. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do set process TPI away. Basically what this does is a lot of people on laptops will be using Windows like scaling to make windows look bigger. If you don't use this, you'll get invalid what's it called, screen width and height because of the scaling. So you got to call that first, and then int screen x equals this metrics what's sm underscore screen. This will be the x, so that's gonna get the width, and we can just do y like so. There we go. And then we want to create our overlay, so to that we do overlay screen x screen y. And then you just want to pass through a name for the window. So I'm going to do C programs overlay. And then we're going to create the rendering loop. So cool. And then if we do break the loop, we just want to close up the window and stuff. So we can destroy window overlay.get window like so. There's that. And then GLFW terminate. If we run this now, we should get a window that's as big as our screen. So if we run this, cool. If you click once, the reason it goes black is because it's focused. I haven't found a fix for it yet, but as you can see, that's our overlay down there. So we're just gonna close that, and we can click through it, right? That's pretty cool. What do we want to do after that? We want to add our renderer. So actually, we'll add the getters for this. So we'll just do int overlay get height return start height, and then same for int, for width, sorry, not int. I'm saying turn this width. Okay, I don't think we need to add setters. Yeah, I'm not gonna add setters. That's probably a bit bad practice, whatever. Now what we can do is we can go to headers, and we're gonna add our render.h. We're also gonna add a render.h here. So render.cpp, sorry. We want to, what the fuck did I type there? GLFW. Yep. We want to class render. We don't have any. Yeah, I don't think we need any private variables for render, but we're just gonna make our function. So we're going to do void draw line into x1 int y1 and then what we're going to do float thickness. Okay, so that's going to be our function to draw lines, and then we want void draw rect, and it's actually pretty much the same. And then we want void draw filled rect. Get rid of a T there, and that's just everything but the thickness. If we go to render it on CPP, we can do show include, and then we'll do our draw line function. So we do render. We want this, so copy and paste it instead of typing it. Okay, so we do GL line width. So again, with like GLFW, you gotta declare the things before you draw them. So that's just saying the thickness, and then we're gonna do GL color 4F, and then we're gonna do color 0. Okay, so that's gonna set the color. Then we're gonna do GL again let's go lines, and then GL vertex 2i, and this should be x1, y1. So that's just setting the points for where we want to draw the line from, and then we just call GL end. So we're done with it. So I mean, in theory, we can actually test that now, just so you guys can see something. All rendering goes in this little bit here, so, and then we can create our renderer. So we're gonna do render. Oh, gotta include it first. Render, I'm gonna do render raw line, and we're gonna do like, I don't know, 200 to 600, 700, and then we want the thickness to be 5. We gotta declare colors, so do for equals, I don't know, we'll just do like 1.f, 1.f, 0.f, 1.f. Okay, there we go. And color. Boom. So if we actually run this now, we should see a line. Again, like click. But yeah, as you can see, that's the overlay. It's staying on top. Pretty cool. Again, if you focus the overlay, the background goes black. I know how to fix that. It's probably something really simple, but I couldn't find a fix for it. And then let's do our rectangle. So we're gonna do render, copy that bit actually, and we kind of just want to draw a line from each point, right? So from the top left to the top right, from the top right to the bottom right, from bottom right to the bottom left, and etc. So we'll do GL vertex 2i. Oh. And we can test this function. We just do draw. Now if we run this, as you can see, we have a fucking big yellow box on our screen. So that's working. Again, like this is thickness, you know, it's really, you can customize it a fair bit. Okay, so anyway, after that, what we want to do is we want to draw the fill rack. So I'm gonna do render, draw filled rack, and just copy and paste these. Do some pasting, and then we want to do just copy and paste this, and like typing it out, a bit lazy. GL, basically we're just defining where the 4 corners are on the screen. We do main, and we draw fields. We'll just get rid of the thickness because it doesn't have that. We run it. Oh, sorry, that's why I put GL end. That's why that didn't work. Okay, cool. So now if we run that, we are forgetting one. We have a triangle, not a thing. Oh, that's why. There we go. Now we have a filled rectangle, and as you can see, it's on top. I can click through it though, as you can see, if I right click, but it's on top. So that is the end for part 1. In the next part, I'll show how to read memory and actually turn this into an ESP.